The following is a presentation of TFNN. The TFNN Bull Bear Trading Hour. Every trading day, live at 10 a.m. Eastern. Call now, toll free at 877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The TFNN Bull Bear Trading Hour. Now, Tom and Tommy O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. Appreciate you rolling and prowling with us out here. We have the Dow Industrials up 36, Nasdaq's up $120, S&P's up 18. Gold contract is smoking that baby. Nothing like a Friday, folks, when you've had a couple high volatile days, but we'll see how this shakes out because you get monster divergence. The King dollar's only up $1.19. Gold's down $50, trading $18.64. You get silver down $1.15, $26.10 an ounce. Light sweet crude up 54 cents, $51.37 an ounce, a barrel rather. Notes and bonds. You get the 10-year down 6 ticks, trading 136.23. The 30-year off a half a point, 17 ticks, 168.23. King dollar up 111 ticks, 89.936. The euro is at 122. The yen is at 103.92, and the British pound is at 135 to $1 US dollar. Tom O'Brien, what's going on?
Happy Friday. Good morning, man.
Happy Friday. And whoever owns Bitcoin, folks, if they haven't sold it, they gotta be happy, man. I mean, this is something else, folks.
Did you see when I put that chart on a monthly?
I did.
The reason why I brought it up originally is just because I had it up earlier and I thought I didn't go back far enough, right? I said, I didn't go back far enough to find the previous high. No, I did. It just doesn't look like it anymore because we've gone so far. Remarkable.
And it's not even close. And what you have here, this is like 3 monster buys, folks. Bottom line, it is what it is, man. I mean, pretty amazing. Let's go over to the gold contract. They're smoking gold. You got a Friday coming into the weekend. Dollar's not even basically, it's bouncing. But the bottom line is that there's nothing there. Now, what you're doing, we get big volume, man, on this thing. You get 213 a few minutes ago. 37,000 contracts. You know, you're coming back to where you broke topside on the, the 16th. So we'll see where this shakes out the rest of the day. I expect, some of the GDX came back, filled the gap, and we'll see whether it can hold that. If it holds it, it's going to be a beauty, man. I mean, this is a classic. The gap there on the GDX, folks, is $36.56. We went to $36.41. And rejected it. So we'll see where that's going to bring it out on a Friday coming into the weekend, So,
and we got to talk about Tesla.
Oh, yeah. So where's Tesla?
Tesla's up 6%, man.
Oh, my God.
It's another day in the market. It's just the numbers, just from a fascination standpoint, you can't help as just a human being entertained by the sheer, magnificence of the moves, man. I mean, Elon's got almost 200 million shares. He already jumped above Bezos in the Bloomberg index. He had him by 10 billion last night. What was interesting was I looked at the Forbes one, and Forbes still had Elon trailing by 1.3 billion to be exact. And I mean, Elon's going to make about $9 billion right now on that move on Tesla. It's just remarkable, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at is it Beam for one of the targets out here? Let's see. BEAM. Okay, so what do we got here? No, BEAM.
Beam therapy.
Yeah. Okay, so you got a low of 13 for the year, a high of 108. These lows to highs, folks. It seems like you get 9 and 10 baggers almost everywhere, man. It's like so weird. Let's see, Cambridge, Mass. 8 million in revenue. So the bottom line is that this is a biotech that was looking to. I don't know what it's looking for. Okay, so another question is going to be, this is 3 6s of 18. It could be an ABC up. That's the bottom line. It's taking the B point out today of 100. You need 1.4 million shares. Okay, so the question is, should you sell some or hold it? Whew. Even no matter what this would say technically, I would say sell some. I mean, you're in the money, honey, like in a monster way here. It's like we're in the business of making money, folks. So I know that's always a tough one, but guess what? When you get revenue of $6 million and you have a market cap of $6 billion, you know, that kind of says it all.
So they're going to put up, I guess, a clinical trial this year on sickle cell anemia, and it has to do with kind of gene editing. I'm sure, you know, they know that asking the question, but for those out there. So that's, I mean, what it makes me think of, man, I'm not sure if you saw the story with Sarepta this morning.
I did.
Oh, so that's the case for taking some profits in some of these companies, man, because that thing got cut in half.
That's a great example, folks. And here, let me show you why. Because when I was looking at this last night, Tommy, right? So picture this. This got cut in half, folks, okay? It was 181, it was 170 yesterday, I think, right?
You got it.
And you're at 86, okay? But let me show you something here. This is not a new biotech. This company makes a fortune anyway, okay? It takes in $500 million. Next year, you know, they say $700 million. So in that context, okay, yes, this was a multiple sclerosis drug, I think, right? Is that what it was?
I believe so.
Yeah. Which is huge, folks, okay? But the bottom line is that, so to go back to the beam, yeah, it takes some money, man. Because this says it all, because they're still going to make money. You know, no, they're not going to make money, but gross money they come in. I mean, you can see on the other side whether this thing was going to go forward or not. They still planned on losing money until the middle of 2022. So, you know, it doesn't take too many. It only takes one mistake.
And it was muscular dystrophy.
Muscular dystrophy
is what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I agree. I know that's when I saw it. That's not one of these, you know, flyer stocks. They've been around forever. I'm very familiar with the name. I agree. I was surprised to see that big of a cut, but guess what, man? That's what people are banking on in the future, and it just went from 120 to 180 since November. So
yeah. Some of the let's go take a look at some of the higher volume equities here and see what we have happening out here today. You got Plug Power's up another 560. You get Tesla's the rocket up $46. Riot Blockchain, of course, that's up $384. Palantir, that's up $1.60, $1.20. And that's about it.
I see Micron on there. Micron, one of the biggest companies starting off earnings season. They had their numbers last night, strong numbers and strong guidance for 2021. So,
yeah, look at that.
I guess pairing some of those gains, but pretty strong numbers.
Up $1.63. Going to be a wild day out here, no doubt. Bottom line, you're at all-time highs. The Dow snuck up there. You know, the NASDAQ caught up yesterday, that's for sure. Dow Industrials right now trading up $7. You get the NASDAQ up 122. S&Ps are up 17. Gold's down 54. Silver's up $1.24. And the dollar is still having a hard time moving. Pretty wild, man.
And how about, I think we got like a 1.1% yield on that 10-year.
Just 1.100. And you know, with that said, I sent you an article yesterday. So
I saw. Let's talk about it afterwards. The rental market. Go ahead.
Stay right there, folks. Come right back. Dow up 6, NASDAQ up 118, S&P's up 16. We'll come right back.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. Do you have broken or unwanted jewelry, diamonds, watches, coins, silverware, and other collectibles that you would like to turn into cash? Tiger Precious Metals and Stones will pay fair market value. We make it easy to turn your precious metals that are sitting around in your house into cash. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245, and he will walk you through our safe and secure process. Andy has been in the business buying and selling precious metals for over 15 years. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow right now up 20, Nasdaq's up 115, S&P's are up 17.5. And, with the 10-year, basically approaching this one, well, it's at 1.1. The thing that's amazing is I know I sent you the rental one too, Tom, but I was talking about the aspect of yesterday, folks, and the prior day, that was still the lowest mortgage rate in history.
So 2.65, I think I saw, right?
Yeah.
I saw that one too.
Right.
I actually got a call from Quicken, man, like the last day or two, pounding me, and I only refinanced like 13, 14 months ago. But yeah, got a call. Of course, they're making those calls on that even as the yield rises. But it was intriguing to see because I got the call and I said to myself, just mentally, well, geez, if I wasn't going to do it when rates were at like 0.6%, why am I going to do it at 1.1 when I did a year ago? But guess why? As you said, the mortgage rates actually are at lows because they took so long. They didn't have to drop down to zero so quickly. So they're actually still lows. Pretty cool.
Right, and it's a supply and demand deal.
You got it.
That's what ends up happening, folks. So, it's interesting, man. I got to look at mine too. Actually, it's two. Yeah, I think it's 0.75. I think you have to be like a point under. I think I'm at 3.25, which sounds expensive now, but I think you got to have a full point to really make it work.
I mean, a point is nice. I mean, how long are you going to be in there? When's the last time you did it, right?
Exactly.
All that stuff.
Exactly. So this weekend, Tom Brady. Folks, bottom line is that listen to this stat. I just brought this up, man. So the Tampa Bay is playing Washington, wild card. But listen to this, man. So the headline on the Bloomberg is you got a 43-year-old playing like he's 28. And listen to this stat, though. He threw 40 touchdowns this season. That's the second most in his whole career, Tommy.
It was an amazing season, man. I'm sure he feels vindicated in the battle of Tom versus Bill in terms of Brady versus Belichick. History is probably going to be pretty kind no matter what happens in the playoffs to Brady versus the season that we had in New England this year.
Unbelievable, man. And for Tampa Bay, folks, the thing that's so weird is that it was 12 years that this is the first time the Patriots didn't get in the playoff. And this is the first time in 12 years that Tampa Bay did get in the playoffs.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I know. It's that.
I mean,
dramatic.
we work in probabilities, right? I've written articles I used to years back on continuous, consecutive occurrences, as in if you're a 90% favorite, what are the odds you can win 9 games in a row or something like that? What are the odds? It's staggering when you start doing the probabilities of consecutive things occurring when you get up to like 20, as in the odds that you make the playoffs. And they didn't make them like, as you said, 12 or something.
Yes.
12 consecutive events, even if you're a 90 or 95% favorite every year, is still so difficult to do, folks, when you start talking about those probabilities. So it's just... Yeah. And what's interesting, I love that you're deep into the sports now that we got Brady and the Bucks kicking it up. But their receiver, right, Evans, who's one of the best receivers in the game, and he, I guess, was at practice, will be a game time decision on Tampa's Saturday night game versus the Washington football team.
Yeah, he pulled something. Yeah, he pulled his leg or something. That's
yeah, he hyperextended his left knee.
Right.
Like it was the catch after he did, like, I think he put up 1,000 yards for 7 straight seasons, something. I mean, he just, unfortunately for him, he was kind of lost in Tampa Bay's struggles over the last 6-7 years, as he was one of the best highlights of it. And this year, hopefully he's able to participate as they make a run. Yeah.
Wild one. So let's go back. We're going to go back to this gold market for a second. So I think we're either retesting a low here or it's blowing through a low. Let's see. Yeah, we've just blown through a low. Let me see this thing. Okay, so now, you got any juice behind you? Nope, there's no juice behind me. How many minutes we got here? We're only 2 minutes into this. So here, let me get the last bar that we had any juice on, folks. What do you see this? 1865. So we're at 1851. And when I talk about any juice, is that when you're getting smoked down here, right? You come down with volume, and that's the last volume bar that you get real volume on. They brought it lower. There's no doubt about that. We go over to the GDX and we take a look at it. It looks to me that the equities actually already bottomed. They bottomed on the first get-go on the way down. Now you're coming back in for a test. Yeah, that's what's happening. So it looks to me like we bottomed out at this bar at 950. Man, I need new. Yeah, 950. So we'll see where that shakes out. We're at 36.54 right now, and that 36.41 was the low. And listen, folks, bottom line, when you're talking about supply and demand, we have Tiger Precious Metals. You're looking to buy, sell, gold, silver, platinum, all of the above. Go over to our website at TFNN. The gold bars, we sell them at 100 over spot. So the bottom line, it was two days, we've been out $100. So, I mean, it's a wild market. And you don't buy, if you're buying or selling the physical gold, folks, you're not trading it. But the bottom line is that,
sure,
if you're looking to buy.
Because there's some entry.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's some higher entry costs, higher exit costs, but then you have the physical metal. You're going to keep it for 5-10 years or something like that. Probably not going to crush you, the entry and exit higher costs,
right,
for the physical actual. It's interesting. I was going to add the 1800 area, man, if it ends to make it down there, right? Of course, we dipped down there in December briefly. We chopped around there for a little while back in July, and then the highs of April, you're talking about 1788. So only with those big pullbacks we've had recently in the last, few sessions, really. But that's an area that I personally would start, really paying attention to, risk reward wise. If you're thinking about it, that's where I love. You start hitting those areas that you've traded at, you've chopped around at. I mean, just look between 1800 and 1700, that whole chopping area, right?
Yes. No, and that's the breakout. The breakout was actually 1806.
And I think 1800 would be critical if it makes it there, because you almost have a chop around area between 1800 and 1900 with a couple outliers, and then you have the chop around area between 17 and 18 going back, early parts of the year. Yeah. Right.
And then now the thing that's pretty wild out here inside of this is that you can see that the dollar still has no juice behind it. You're up 131 ticks. Wow.
Yeah, not the move I would have expected if you said, hey, gold's getting killed, it's down $60. What do you think the dollar's doing, right? I think most of us would say it's up more than that. Yeah.
It's amazing. And one of the questions in the den are that, why basically do I speculate that on Fridays it's bad it can be bad inside of the metals market. You know what? I really don't know, but because I've been doing this so long, is that if they can hit gold like in the middle of the week, it seems like on a Friday it can be very dangerous. And it very well could be the aspect that, well, first off, it's a very small market. I mean, you know, you get big market makers that are basically ruling this market. You don't need a lot of contracts to whack the gold market. The gold closes in the pit at 1:30 in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. It closes electronically at 4 o'clock. And then it doesn't trade until Sunday night, our Eastern Standard Time at 8 o'clock. You know, so they can really move it around then. Now, just the opposite happens. If gold has a good week and a couple good days, it will go exponential on a Friday up. Because, you know, that's just kind of how it goes. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I come right back. Dow's down 45, Nasdaq's up 55, S&Ps are up 5. We'll come right back.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now down 80. You get the Nasdaq up 39, S&P's up 2.5, and small caps, they're not giving it up either. You get the IWM down 26 cents. You know,
that was quite a little down thrust, man. We'll see where we. But I mean, 20 points in the S&P's in about 8 minutes.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's look at this baby. Yeah, look at that. Who's the seller there, huh? Look at that.
Yeah.
That was wow. That's a big bar, folks. Yeah, they threw it right at it. That's 60,000 contracts that get thrown at that.
Can't fault some selling at 38.15 coming into. I mean, let's take a look at the jobs number, all right, real quick, because I mean, just even, talking about visually when you look at it here. So we drop 140,000 jobs. We'll go over the numbers because it was basically all restaurants and bars and hospitality, right? That could be somewhat encouraging because you get some stimulus, man. Other parts of the economy are really picking up in a good way. Now you look at where we are, where we were, though, and which gets lost in kind of the update, right? It doesn't get lost, but you always see, what was the number? Well, we lost 140,000. We were supposed to gain about 50. Well, we were at about 152 million jobs in terms of total employment. We're sitting at about 142 million.6. You see the drop we had, almost to 130. We've clawed back just more than half of those, but we got a long way to go, man. On those numbers, and trying to pull up real quick the number for the jobs. I'll pull it up because the breakdown, here we go. So the industry in terms of hospitality plunged 498,000. That industry is down 3.9 million jobs since January, 23.2%. I mean, that's just amazing to lose a quarter of jobs in an entire industry in 10 months. So hopefully we get some stimulus for those people. There's some of the people that need it the most because you get them back over the hump, man. Restaurants are some of the industries I can imagine the quickest. If the key is just sitting there, wait to be turned back on, well, turn it on, man, and start the party when we get over this COVID restriction.
Right. And so what did happen too, folks, in the last stimulus bill that went through, that I believe the Treasury has to get the numbers out today or tomorrow. They had 10 days from when the bill passed to get the parameters out for the PPP, which is the Payroll Protection Program. And what they did have in there in restaurants is that in restaurants, instead of the first PPP, folks, you take your payroll for a quarter and you get 2.5, you multiply it by 2.5%, and that's what you could get. This one here is that you look at this year and you look at last year, and to be eligible, you have to have a quarter that's 25% less than last year. So there's going to be a lot more folks that do not get it because if they didn't lose any money or didn't have to shut down, well, they're not going to get any PPP. Restaurants, however, we know they shut down, so they're going to get it, and they're going to get 3.5. So that's going to be a good juice for them because a 3.5, folks, gets the payroll paid for 4 months, 4 months and 2 weeks almost. That's kind of how that shakes out. So the thing is, and this is where, even when we're trading, that you never want to go over your head too much. And in the restaurants that had a little money that they could save and that they stayed alive, this is going to help them tremendously. But if they close, then, it's terrible. Do you know what I mean? It
is. Listen, you can't imagine that the world's going to shut down for a year, man. Especially, it's just a lot of luck, a lot of life, unfortunately, is like timing and variance. And, you don't have to call it luck if you don't want to. But to be in this industry, which somehow gets clobbered, versus other industries that have just accelerated versus no fault of their own, no skill of their own, it's just winners and losers determined by are you doing your job at home isolated, or were you in the concert business, the restaurant business, the airline business? And so it's just you got to the one thing, you got to be diversified in the market, man. I thought I had some brilliant ideas in January, and I did. Pat myself. But everything changed like almost overnight, which is really remarkable when you think of how right you could have been, and just you never know what's coming around the corner, folks.
Yeah, we're all going to learn something on this one because there's no doubt that restaurants, that was the last thing you thought of that. Well, just in general, do you know what I mean?
Myself, we've talked about it. We know Disney and Uber were two of my favorite, man. They got destroyed, and yeah, they had a banner November and December, and I believe they were going to get there, folks. They just got there quicker than I even imagined, But they were two of the worst performing stocks in my portfolio until November 1st.
Right.
When thank goodness I had some exposure to other equities because the world changed overnight.
Well, they could have shook you out. For sure. This is what's so cool. What Tommy's saying, folks, this is what's so cool when you get diversity because you look at it and say, okay, I'm getting hurt here, but I get some bread over here, so it's not the end of the world. Because you look at the bottom line of the whole thing, right? Yeah.
Listen, it comes to mind, I had a subscriber, and they were talking about equities, and I was trading a lot of options.
Yeah.
And I said, listen, if you're looking at equities, I said, and you want a long-term position, whether you're a subscriber or not, I said, buy some Disney until COVID is gone, okay?
Yeah.
You don't know how long it's going to be, and you don't know how low it's going to go. But if you just make it to the other side, you can have that type of conviction. But going back to, before COVID, it was like you had convictions, folks. And I said to you, man, there had to be, because I could imagine it. You go where you know, okay?
Right.
So you imagine people who are in retirement, and what do they know? They know travel. They know cruises.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine some people, and hopefully you were diversified, said, listen, we love this lifestyle. All our friends love this lifestyle of cruising. We're retired. It's pretty affordable. Things are all inclusive. And they put too much of their money in certain things that in any other world, folks, in almost any other lifetime, it just goes from 100 to 0 overnight.
Well, the cruising one you brought up is a great one, because I think I've already told the story. I know I have. That I have friends that they're big cruises, and I remember sitting down right at the very beginning when these cruises would they'd say, oh, no, I'm buying cruises. We're going back to cruising.
I don't blame them.
And guess what, folks?
That's just, no matter how bright you are, people say it, Larry says it, right? You're never smarter than the market, man, in terms of, you got to be diversified, because we've seen it. You never know what's going to happen. Never. Yeah.
And folks, to get Tommy's newsletter, it's real easy to do. You come over to our website at TFNN. You're going to see it right under featured contact, Rocket Equities and Option Report. You hit that banner, you hit subscribe. You can get it for 1 month for $97. You can get it for 6 months for $449, which is a savings of $133 at 22%. You get it for a year for $785, which is a savings of $379 or 32%. Now, they all come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're going to check it out, take whatever one you want. You enjoy it, great. You keep going. It doesn't work for you. Guess what? Get your money back, folks.
I tell everyone, they cancel. They ask, it's people are almost hesitate for all of our newsletters. This goes people almost hesitate to say, it wasn't for me. I'd like to use that money back guarantee. Yeah. Please do it. I say thanks for the opportunity. Exactly. Right. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. Right. It doesn't work for everybody. We all have our own system, folks. Give it a try. Give your newsletter, Steve Rhodes, Larry, Dave. Give them a try. And if you don't like them, please, if you find it wasn't worth it, ask for your money back and move on, and you move on to the next trade. That's it.
Totally. Dow Industrials right now down 55, NASDAQ up 55, S&P's up 6.5. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I come right back. Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. Are you looking to buy or sell gold, silver, platinum, coins, or bullion? We can help. At Tiger Precious Metals and Stones, we specialize in the buying and selling of gold, silver, as well as collectible U.S. and foreign coins. We not only buy your unwanted or broken jewelry, but you can trade that in for gold and silver coins, too. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245 for a quote over the phone and to lock in the current market price. Call us now at 727-329-8245.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now down 24, Nasdaq's up 79, S&P's up 12, and we get a couple of questions. Is this back against the wall in the GDX? Is silver still heading to 30? I can tell you, folks, I've been buying all morning, so I'm buying against this strength. Meaning, if I bring the GDX, all of these are doing the same thing. That doesn't mean I'm going to be right, but the bottom line, I like how this is setting up. You go topside on Monday. We go topside up here with the 54 million. You get 12 million now. That means we're going to do we'll do 25 million, 30 million. We'll slow down, and you fill in the gap. So to me, that's, and the kicker inside of this always has to do where the dollar is, whether I'm aggressive or not, folks. I've seen them whack gold a million times, and the dollar's only up 200 ticks. So, So to answer your question, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm buying. So.
We got it, man. And that's what we're asking. What are you doing?
Exactly.
You can't tell them what the market's doing, man. If you can tell them what the market's doing.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Hey, what is going to be a trip here, folks, okay, is this. Okay, so you had the siege on the Capitol. And unfortunately, you had 5 people die. One of them happened to be a Capitol cop. The reason I'm bringing this up is that when you get involved in things, okay, and this is just in life in general, folks, you better make sure you know what you're getting involved in. Because what's going to happen now is this. Some of these protesters are going to basically get manslaughter charges. And I suspect it just depends on how many are actually going to get the manslaughter charges. And you might be caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, So pay attention to who you hang out with, man.
Yeah.
I've seen it growing up. My point is I've seen it growing up. I've seen, the bottom line, I've seen it growing up. This is the first time. In fact, it's so weird. I'm trying to figure out, people, they were like surprised that it happened. I'm saying to myself, I don't know how anyone that is 60 years, let's say 65 years, at least 60 years and older, why would they be surprised? We were already in a million riots. We grew up in riots. Do you know what I mean? Martin Luther King got killed, the L.A. riots. I mean, I've been in a lot of riots. So I don't understand why they're claiming that they're so surprised.
It's a sad reality, man, and you're giving great advice, because even my friends and I were talking about over the last 24 hours, as you have, a Capitol Police officer now dying in that. And,
oh, yeah.
Folks, if you're involved, anybody in a felony crime and somebody dies as part of that crime, which, sieging the Capitol it definitely is, then you can all be held liable for that murder. And there's a lot of people, unfortunately, that got swept up and are unaware of how in the wrong they were yesterday, and were unaware in those moments of the consequences of the action of being in the Capitol, of literally walking through those doors, following people smashing down windows.
Yeah.
Groupthink is a very, very scary thing, folks. There's some amazing studies out there of what people will do when you feel that you are part of a group, and somehow that normalizes and solidifies something to a very scary reality. And it's very unfortunate, because I imagine there are some great people that got swept up, unfortunately, but here's the problem. Ignorance of sieging the Capitol and people dying being a crime is not a defense. And it's sad. It really is sad, and that's the reality.
No,
so
it is. And, you got to see it, Tommy. Remember? Okay, so picture this. Tommy and I, folks, were in, it was New Orleans, okay? We were in New Orleans at the hurricane, right? And
Hurricane Katrina. For those way back.
And so what ended up happening, folks, is that we finally got out of where we were, right? Well, we were just walking down the street, and we walked down to where everything just started. But I turned around to Tommy, and so picture this. This is what ended up happening. Before everything exploded, we were right there when everything exploded. And this is what happened, is that the stores were closed down, there were cops on the street, but they couldn't control anything. And then a truck pulled up to a liquor store. Someone broke the windows, and then they got all the liquor, but they really were just looking for water, too. And I remember I turned around to you and says, let's go quick, because this place is going to explode.
Yeah,
and
some weren't. I mean, to see people running with booze that day, because I remember it, that's where you got to be careful who you're next to and what you're doing.
Right.
Because there were, it's sad, man. You got 5 people dead. You got a Capitol police officer dead. And we've all seen the pictures of almost jubilation of not, I don't know how you were jubilant in those moments of storming the Capitol, but there's going to be implications, and it's a sad reality, man. It is.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So.
But last part, but thank you for bringing it up, because, it's easy to do, which is the real sad part, too. And so you got to be hyper aware, because I know exactly what you're talking about, and we talked about it. And there's so many people that got swept up in this that are just they're going to come to a reckoning of the implications for their actions that they just are going to somehow plead, ignorance to, which is just sad, because that's not how life works.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, and what it is, folks, is that there's a lot of them that have never seen anything like that, and I think when you see it, I've seen it not a dozen times, but I've been in the middle of 6 of them. So what ends up happening, folks, is that how fast and furious it can get and how bad it can get very quickly.
But you bring it up great in the last part, because this is a life lesson, man. It's like, they can be much smaller events, because we've had this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
You've raised me so well as my dad, man. They can be much smaller events that you're next to 1 or 2 people who are up to no good, and you think it's not that big of a deal. And association with people who are doing bad things, folks, your life can change overnight. So just be hyper.
And it does.
Yeah, it does for so many people. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dow Industrials right now flattening out again. You get the comp up $100. We got the E-minis up 14. Gold is still whacking gold. That's down $55. We'll see whether that can get out of the doldrums down there. Silver, let's go take a look at the silver. It's amazing what they do with silver, man. Silver, they can just really take that to clean. It's down $1.50, right? Let's put this. Yeah, it's a good move. We're going into, let's see, 134,000 contracts, you get 95. We'll probably do around that, but the swing point in the silver, nothing's going to change in silver until if it gets below 25.12. Right now you're at the 25.73. So that baby still wants higher price. And listen, the dollar still hasn't moved. We'll see how this shakes out the rest of the day, but 214 is not a big deal on the dollar. Dow down 9, NASDAQ up 98, S&P's up 13. We'll come right back.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archived workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks and commodities, along with specific recommendations including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow right now down 6. You get the NASDAQ up 98. S&Ps are up 13, and I guess we'll see how many more jobs we can get going, Tom.
Yeah, so just forget about that sell-off in the market because we're back up now, so don't worry. No, I kid. So just some of the numbers we talked about, hospitality getting crushed, right? But as they point out in Bloomberg here, excluding leisure and hospitality, most sectors actually posted gains in employment. Construction saw a 51,000 increase. Manufacturing was 38,000. Retail trade was up 120,500. Transportation warehousing 46,600, and professional and business services 161,000. So I mean, even retail 120,000. Man, you put stimulus in these people's pockets, they're spending it. Retail's up. Bars and restaurants cannot be up when they're literally being shut down by regulations. I think that's the right play in some of these areas, getting hit so hard. Regardless of if you do, that's happening. That's the biggest part of the decrease going on. And that's where, hopefully, we're going to get that stimulus. Restaurants are able to stay open. We turn that key in 6 months, hopefully last 3 months.
And it's getting the vaccine distributed, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a big deal, you know.
And so pretty cool to see those numbers, which is, I think, once you saw things get digested, pretty strong numbers, yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
Stay right there, folks. We got Think or Swim coming up next, and we're going to, Mr. Basil Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave White. I'll be back this afternoon.
Hey, not to jump in, I wanted to say, though, I talked about my program, that article you sent me about Traders Heaven and the option statistics going on? Sixth biggest day in history on Wednesday, fourth biggest day of call buying on Wednesday. Amazing, man.
And this might be the biggest day today.
Oh, well, hey, why not? Friday, Tesla's action, why not?
Totally. Stay right there, folks. Think or Swim's coming up next. I'm Mr. Basil Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave White. I'll be back this afternoon. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, man.
Look at him, folks.